What's going on, everyone? Kevin here doing another 8-4 RTR block draft. On Friday leading into Memorial Day, I decided to do one of the 64-man drafts. If you've been following my drafts on my 8-4s, I have not yet gotten to the finals. I've gotten close a couple times, but I did the 64-man draft, and I actually ended up winning the whole thing. So it was kind of like winning two 8-4s in a row. And so I was pretty excited about that. So I'll be playing in the sealed Dragon's Maze release tournament on Saturday. In this pack, I think there's a couple interesting choices. I think Gaze of Granite is probably okay in certain decks, but it puts you into pretty heavy Golgari right away. And I mean, you can make this work to your advantage for sure, but I think that the safer pick and just probably the better card in general is the War Leader's Helix. I think the Woodlock Crawler is also very good because I think, protection of various colors is just super powerful when you have everyone playing so many different colors. Plus, there's a lot of green creatures, so I think that's pretty strong, but I'm going to take the War Leader's Helix. Alrighty, there's some pretty good cards here. I mean, the Krasis is pretty okay. I think the Runner's Bane's pretty okay also, and Skylasher, again, we have a card that's pro-blue, can't be countered, and that's pretty good. And you can't see it right here, but yeah, there it is, Reach. So that's a really good card, but I think I'm just going to stick with red-white and take the first blade here, and the guy behind us may end up going green based on a couple of things we've passed, but I think maybe Rakdos, or I mean maybe Boros will be really open pack too. We'll just take the first blade here, and maybe we can end up with a pretty concentrated deck. That's the hope, anyways. As I say that, the best card in this pack are all green or blue-green. I think the Jellin Sphinx is pretty good also. What I've been trying to do, and both decks I drafted in my 64-person queue, I really been trying to focus on two colors and maybe just a small splash into a third color. I think if you go like an even 3, it's just too hard, even with a few Guild Gates and a few Clue Stones. It makes it pretty rough on your mana. This is a tough call, I would think, because actually these 3 cards are pretty good. So it's whether you want to jump into like this kind of a thing right now or stick with what we're doing. And I think, even though these are all pretty good, I think I'm going to take the Sphinx, who's also pretty good, and then I can, at least this in white, and I can either go red, or I can go Azorius. So, another few decent cards here. The Maka is really good, I think. I think Renounce the Guild is actually fine in this format too, because there's so many multicolored permanents. You can usually get at least one thing from your opponent, and you can, play around this also. This is a 4 Clue Stone pack. And Deputy is really good too, but I prefer to stay on the red-white, and if I splash blue for like a 5-drop, that's much better than like this kind of guy, although you could splash this guy too. So I think cutting off Boros is better. The guy behind us may end up in Simic or Gruul, but I think I'm going to take another first blade over the Maka. And the Maka is good, but alrighty. Another Crawl Warrior. Again, that's pretty good. I mean, it's not really the kind of cards you want to splash, because it's much better as a 2-drop than it is as, a 5-drop if you're trying to splash color. Far and Away is actually really good. In fact, that's probably the best card in this pack. I could take it and just play the far aspect of it and see. That's one option. The Far is not bad. It's a 2-mana unsummon, basically. I heard people say they like this guy. Fair enough. I have 1 instant. That's okay too. I think I am going to take the Far and Away, because no, we'll just stick with the Blaze Commando. Obviously, that was a last-second pick there. So I guess maybe switching to Simic would have been better. This format is so difficult for me, even when I won 2 of the 2 8-mans in a row for the 64-person draft. It's a tough format to really get a read on. I mean, obviously we saw some good Simic cards, but our first, a lot of our Boros cards are pretty strong too. So here, we're not going to switch to Simic at this point. I mean, we could take a Runner's Bane and splash it, although splashing it is going to hit a 3-mana guy. I think if we're taking a card for splash, a Deputy of Acquittals is probably better. No, I'll just take the Runner's Bane. Okay, here I'm just going to take the Mastiff. Yeah, nothing too exciting to say about that. I mean, Orzhov Guildgate would be fine, but I think right now I'd just rather have the 2-drop. I'm trying to be Boros and aggressive-y. Wow, that's a really late Tithe Drinker. Yeah, I don't know if I want to play 2 Blaze Commandos. I have to get a lot more instants and sorceries, which is fine. And it does say whenever it deals damage, not to a player, but just damage in general. So, I mean, that's not bad. So, we're pretty red, white, and blue right now. I would like the Tithe Drinker. Even the Feral Animus has been okay against me. Don't really think any of these... this is obviously super good, but... I'm going to take the Tithe Drinker. I don't want to play 2 Blaze Commandos. I don't even know if I want to play 1. And if by some craziness a ton of Orzhov gets passed our way, then we can play Orzhov and splash red. I don't want to be an even 3 colors, but if it has to be done, it can probably be done. So it's probably between these 2 Clue Stones at the moment. And... I mean, we're probably pretty red-white, so I think I'm going to take the Izzet Clue Stone. Alright, my choices... I think a Maze Abomination is the best card. I guess if we end up in Orzhov type of red, white, and black or something... I mean, I'm not married to my 2 blue cards, that's for sure. So, I'm actually going to take the Maze Abomination. I'm not that excited about Down and Dirty, especially if I can only play one side of it. So I'm just going to take the Pilfered Plans. Well, actually, I guess I'm going to take the Bane Alley Blackguard. I don't want to play that. Alright, well here's some Orzhov Clue Stones for us. Opal Lake too, but since I have no gates, that's not too exciting. Sure. Why not? So, I mean, we're pretty red-white. We could be red-white-black or red-white-blue and try to stick with red-white. I like the Jellin Sphinx better than any of my black cards, but except for Tithe Drinker is pretty good. Okay, so here I think we're going to take the True Fire Paladin. Obviously we're not in green. I love me some Grizzly Spectacle, as I say every single draft. But if we play black, we're probably red, white, splash black, and it's double black. Even though I love this card, I think True Fire Paladin is also just so good that I think pulling it here is the right choice, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so the hope is someone took the rare out of this pack. Killing Glare also, very good, but we're hoping to get Boros cards in this pack and stick with a very aggressive red-white, basically Boros deck. Fire Fist Striker is also super good, but we're going to take the Legionnaire and be happy about it. Okay, here's an interesting choice, I think. I don't want Smite because I'm trying to be pretty aggressive. The Balustrade Spy is good, and I mean Croconair is good, but we're not green, which is odd. I would think we passed a lot of good green stuff. Thought someone would have picked up green behind us, but the Warmind Infantry is probably what I'm going to take since I'm just trying to be aggressive and creaturey. I do like Balustrade Spy a lot, but I think since I don't even know if I want to play black and we know we're playing red-white, that the Warmind Infantry is the correct pick. Okay, here's good cards for us. So maybe we did something right, hopefully. Again, a Guildgate wouldn't be bad, but I don't even know if I'm playing black. I want to be as red-white as possible, and if I'm going to splash either blue or black, then that's fine, but if there's good red and white cards, that's what I'm taking. So here I have an Ember Beast or a Holy Mantle, which is obviously super good, and even though There's a lot of answers to creatures. In fact, I'm going to hide the black ones because right now I don't think that's the direction we're going, even though Tithe Drinker is awesome. So right now, I mean, we're looking at 8 creatures, but we're going to pick up more. I think Holy Mantle is just the strongest card. And because I think it's the strongest card, I mean, you got to be careful with it. But +2/+2 pro creature is pretty good. So, okay. So it does appear that Orzhov is pretty open, but I mean, like, Executioner swings fine, and I could even splash it. But I don't think there's any reason to go away from white right now. I think Basilica's Creature or Syndic are probably about almost the same card. The 2-drop would be pretty good. At the same time, this guy is just awesome. We don't really have a ton of 5s at the moment, which is fine. Man, Guardian is so good. Let's see. I'm not sure, honestly, about this pick at all because these guys are both so good. I mean, I think Syndic's good, but Guardian has won me so many games. I think I'm going to take the Guardian. That might be wrong in this kind of a deck where we're trying to be pretty aggressive. In fact, it might be wrong, but even though I love Syndic of Ties, the Guardian of the Gateless is just so good for me. If they don't come up with an answer for it, it's going to win you the game, and that's the kind of thing I'm looking for with the 5-drop. So hopefully we can pick up some more weenie creatures as we go. That'll make up for that. And here, I mean, it's between a Smite and a Hands of Binding. I think Smite is probably better. Again, we don't know if we're playing blue or black, and Hands of Binding, we don't really have much evasion at the moment, so I'm going to take the Smite even though we're trying to be more aggressive than all that. Well, white, red, and black are all very open, so that's good for us. Another Executioner swing, a Devour Flesh, Scorchwalker, Denizen, Zerichi Tiger, Bomber Corps. In fact, there's 6 cards in this pack that I would work for what we're trying to do. I would say probably not the Zerichi Tiger. We're trying to be more aggro than that. Court Street Denizen. Let's see, how many white cards? How many white guys? Only 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 white creatures. This guy's pretty good when you're trying to be aggressive. It's that or Scorchwalker. I would say we're so white right now. I'm going to actually take the Court Street Denizen. Okay, dokie. I think the Thunder Fist is fine, or the Nav Squad Commandos. They're both in the 5 spot. Obviously, one's white and one's red. I think maybe the Nav Squad Commandos are better because if you want to block, they block better, and if you want to attack, they become a 4/6 most of the time. And we're more white than red. I think the Towering Thunder Fist is fine, but I'm going to take that guy. And here's... again, I mean, none of these cards are going to make our deck. I guess the Dutiful Thrall is okay if you play black, or I guess Illness in the Ranks is an okay sideboard card if you're playing someone who's running like 1/1 bird tokens or something. Alright, well, here's a Dutiful Thrall, so we didn't lose anything by taking that other one. I don't want to play a Dutiful Thrall, though, so hopefully we do not have to do that. Again, we don't know if we're playing blue or black. We may play neither if we can get enough red and white cards. And we're getting close. I think we're getting close. Obviously, take out a couple Clue Stones if you do that, which is another reason that playing Focused is a better way to go. I think Shield of Passage I probably won't play, but I could play it and it wouldn't be terrible. Same thing with the Slate Street Ruffian if we end up playing some black. I could play 3 Slate Street Ruffians. So I'd say this deck's looking okay. We could go red, white, or again, I think the Jellin Sphinx is pretty good. Probably gonna take the Palisade Giant. That guy is just tough to get around. Just a 2/7 where they have to have a removal spell for it, basically, because it's just impossible to kill. There's a lot of good cards in here for us. I would be very happy to take an Annihilating Fire, Knightly Valor, Vassal Souls, all pretty good. But I think for now, the Palisade Giant is pretty good. It's just so hard to kill at 7, so that's what I'm going to take. The Blaze Commando is not looking very good. We only have one spell that deals damage, one instant or sorcery in the War Leader's Helix, and because of that, I'm probably not going to play this Blaze Commando unless I absolutely have to, especially since at that rate I like my other 5-drops better. Okay, let me see what we got here. So in blue I've got Runner's Bane. Let me hide this stuff. That's not worth playing. So basically if I go blue, I have a Runner's Bane and a Gellan Sphinx. And I can pick up a Soul Spirit. This is the time where I have to pick whether I want to be blue or black, because Augury is obviously a better card. In fact, if I play black, I can play the Tithe Drinker, not a Sphinx. I guess, I mean, I would just be playing at that point a Tithe Drinker and an Augur Spree, but I think this is a tough call, because Soulsworn Spirit's pretty good and can just kind of win you a game too. I think, I mean, I really have to pick which one I want here. I think Augur Spree's too good. Alright, well, this is kind of a brick for us in all colors. Armory Guard's not going to be great. We don't have any gates for it. Train Caracal just kind of sucks. We're not playing Golgari colors, even though this is probably the best card in the pack. For us, it's probably Sewer Shambler or Deviant Glee, since we decided we're probably going to go black instead of blue. And in this format, I've had Sewer Shambler be so good for me, because so many people are running black. And since we decided to go black over blue, I guess I'll take that. I will hide these blue cards. I do like Gellan Sphinx a lot, but I think, like, obviously Izzet Charm's super good. If Izzet Charm would have been in that other pack, I probably would have taken it. But here, it's probably a Knightly Valor, especially since we can't play this card, or this card, or this card. I've seen a lot of good Selesnya go late now in these drafts. Goblin Rally would be okay too, but Knightly Valor's good. Good enough to play 2 of them. A little not good that we're not seeing any red and white cards this time, because we would like to pick up more creatures that aren't trained Caracals. And Dramatic Rescue also very good. So a lot of open green. We could also play Rakdos Charm, but it's not good, really. It's like the worst one, I think. Oh, well, alright, so I'm not really sure. Maybe blue-red would have been better than black. Obviously, Teleportal is just super good and would be really good in my deck too. I think at this point, I have enough good black cards. It's not worth going that way and just taking the Sunspire Griffin here. It's a good creature anyway, so that's fine. We've got a lot of good cards in pack 2. The guy to our right must be in red-white somehow, because we're not really seeing any red-white anymore. And not black either. I don't want to play a Skullrend. I'm not going to play a Stonefair Crocodile. I guess I could play a Soul Tithe on something if they play big creatures or something. I don't know. I don't really like Soul Tithe, so... Again, Ogre Jailbreaker is probably what I'm going to take here, because it's the only card I can really play other than a Sundering Growth, which is probably okay. A Pursuit of Flight, which I can't activate. And I don't want to go too deep in black, and I don't have any way to attack with this guy, so all those reasons are reasons not to take it, but I can't play any of these other cards, so... Wow, it's a late Centaur's Herald, but I can actually play a Vassals also. Alright, Electrickery for a sideboard is fine. I'm not going to play any of those cards. Goblin Rally I probably will play, actually. So, alright, well that didn't end up quite as well as I was hoping, especially once I started seeing all those Boros cards, pack 2, which is what we were hoping to get. I guess I probably, when I took the Augur Spree, if I would have taken blue instead, probably would have ended up a little better. I guess at any point I could have switched back, but I'm trying to be mostly red-white, so let me build this up a little bit and we'll talk about it in just a sec. Alright, welcome back. I think this is the deck I'm going to run. I haven't added the lands yet, obviously, but I decided to go against the Blaze Commando. I was hoping to pick up some more burn spells, but the only card I have that's dealing any damage is War Leader's Helix, or Electrickery if I want to side it in, but I don't think that's enough to want to run another 5-mana creature. I already have 5 drops, which is probably a lot for the deck I was trying to build. It is pretty hard. I do have a lot of 3s, and I have a couple good 2s, so we'll see how that works out. I'm not really sure if Goblin Rally is right for this deck. I don't have any like Dino Charge or anything to make it very strong, but it's between something like that, and I'm even running a Dutiful Throw, which I'm not excited about, but it's between those and like a 6-drop, which I already have, like I said, 5 5s and a 6. Something janky like a Slate Street Ruffian, which I don't want to run. A Jailbreaker with no gates to turn it on, so that's not what I'm trying to do in an aggressive deck. I mean, something really crappy like an Offer the Guilds I guess I could run, but I'm not going to do that. So based on that, I mean, I don't want to run a Trained Caracal. I don't think it's better than a Dutiful Throw. I could run one of these cards instead, and I also am running the Orzhov Cluestone to help with my few black cards, which is just Tithe Drinker, Sewer Shambler, and yeah, I guess that's it actually. Oh, Augur Spree. So that's kind of what I'm looking at. The Maze Abomination is probably not that bad in my deck, but I don't think it's. I mean, maybe it's better than Goblin Rally. Maybe you just go from this 4/1/1s to all my guys have Death Touch, but I don't think so. I don't think that's better. Maybe it is, since I don't have any way to do anything with these guys. Hopefully with my evasion guys I have a few flyers, and I don't know. I think it's a little rough. I don't think this deck really turned out quite like I was hoping, but let's see. Let's see what we got here. "22 white sources." That is a ton of white sources, and some of them are double white. So I took all the white cards. Black sources we just have 3. With Tithe Drinker being obviously better early, but okay late, and then 9 red. 9 red with Goblin Rally being... Actually, I think I'm going to take out Goblin Rally for Maze Abomination. I don't want the double red casting cost if I don't have to have it. And I think adding 1 black is better than having the double red. And I think maybe the 4/5 body is just better. I've got enough multicolored creatures. So that puts me at 7 red instead of 9. So let's see what they suggest here. That's not right. We definitely want white, but I don't think I will need to run that many. That would give me 8, 9, 6, 9, 6, 5. Obviously that's still too many. That would be 5, 5, 9. Alright, that's going to be it. I'll see you in round 1, and hopefully we can make something happen here.